of things to make ends meet, and may not have that time to pick up a book and finish reading it. If you're in that space, trust me, you're not the only one in that space. And in this video, I'll be sharing tips of how you can pick up a book and finish reading it, even with all your schedule. First off, set a deadline. Pick a book and set a deadline when you expect to finish reading that book. Yes. Let your deadline be realistic, and that's very important. You have to consider the number of chapters, but especially the number of pages, the volume of the book. You need to consider that really when you're setting your deadline. Like I would say, and I'm stressing, make sure that your deadline is realistic. Now, the next thing you do is to spread the content of that book across the duration, the time you have set when you expect to finish reading the book. So if the book is as voluminous as Half of a Yellow Sun, which is over 500 pages, you know what I mean. Okay, so what I'm saying is you spread the chapters of the book across the deadline that is already realistic. So when you've done that, the next thing you should do is to create allowance. By creating allowance, I mean that you should give room. You should give room for that it is possible that you start reading the book and you're not able to finish within the initial deadline. And it may not be any fault of yours. It could actually be your own fault as well. It not being your own fault could be that extraneous variables, things can come up, things be outside your control, your job or something, business, something can just come up, your children, anything can come up that will take a lot of your time within the duration, the time you've set to read and finish up the book. So create an allowance. That allowance could be 3 days, it could be 5 days, when in the event that you're not able to finish reading that book within the initial deadline, you still have like 3-5 days to complete it. So we can still say at the end of the day that you finished reading the book. Alright, so additionally, determine what time of the day you would want to read. Even if you're not exactly sure, even if it's going to change, but let it be that you have control over your day, your night, and okay, I'll be really pretty busy during the day, but when I get back from work or when I come back from my business, I would spend 2 hours to read. I'll spend 2 hours to meet up with my target for that particular day. Just figure out what time of the day it's going to be really convenient for you to read. If it's going to be more convenient in the early hours of the day, you're going to be waking up early to start reading. That way you'll be able to meet up with your targets. Because if you just say, okay, I've set a deadline, I'll spread the content of the book across the deadline, and then you don't know exactly when you will start, things will come up, distractions, things will come up, and you may not really be able to finish reading of the book. So that's one thing you should do. And finally, I think you should reward yourself when you're done reading. Do something that will motivate you. Just do something that you don't do on a regular. It could be to take yourself out, but you must consider your pockets. Just do something for yourself that you don't do regularly, as a way of motivating you to go to the next. Trust me, I have followed these steps, and it has really helped me to be able to read 7 books already. And this is just me, and I've read 7 books. So what I will do is I'm going to drop the books I have read in the description box, so you can check it out. If they're not books you've read and you would love to read them, I think you can always get them, download them, and you can buy them as well and read them. Thank you.